Hello, I am Mohammed Askar and welcome to GSB 791. In this video, we are going to discuss the case of Daimler Chrysler, the quest to create one company. This is a very interesting case about two different automotive companies. It explores several issues that will make a merger successful or a failure. To understand this case and to properly analyze this case, we have to look at the nature of the automotive industry. The companies themselves, how they are run, how are they managed, their cultures, their leaders, and what other issues that may arise. To start our analysis, we need to look at the industry. A good way for looking at analyzing the industry is through the Porter 5-force model. In this model, we want to look at the power of the suppliers, the rivalry among companies, the power of the buyers, and the ease of exit and entry, finally the substitutes of those. So this is a very good case for applying the Porter 5-force model. How is the industry being shaped by its suppliers? Many or few number of suppliers. What kind of bargaining power these suppliers have? Is it a friendly environment or companies are fighting fiercely against each other? What is the degree of rivalry in this automotive industry? What is happening at your competitors? Are they merging to create large companies, or can a small company survive by itself? Looking at the buyers, are they that powerful, or do they have changing trends? Are they looking for one model fits all, or it's a very segmented, differentiated markets? What segments are rising in this market? What segments are saturated? Entering and exiting this market, is it that easy? And finally, are there substitutes to the automotive industry? Now let's look at a comparison between both companies, Daimler and Chrysler. Well, Daimler is recovering from a failed diversification. Daimler is known as a high-end luxury car. It attempted to enter other markets, especially with the A-Class, and they have a failed experience with diversification. Their passenger car division is relatively small by any global standards. The luxury segment that once used to be secured for them now is experiencing more and more competition, especially from the Japanese counterparts like Lexus, Infiniti, and Acura. Extending their brand, going to, for example, the A-Class, it is not that easy. They did not have an easy way of doing so, and they had problems or difficulties for doing so. And until that point, it was an export-based industry, especially for Daimler, as most of their sales arise from the US, Middle East, and China. Now let's look at Chrysler. They are a very innovative company, but they had their own management problems. They are just recovering from cash flow difficulties. They depended on their lifestyle products, and Chrysler The good thing about Chrysler, or the unique thing about Chrysler, is their lifestyle products. Like when Lee Iacocca took Chrysler during a time of crisis, he created the minivan, which changed the landscape of the American family car. Chrysler also introduced the SUV, which again had a change of the lifestyle of the American family. They started the SUV industry, but as companies have seen how profitable this segment is, competition followed and they are giving them hard time. They have their excellent product development. Manufacturing is very good when it comes to lean manufacturing, but they have a weak position for their passenger cars. And they are mainly a North American company, lagging in exports, not like Daimler. And they are considered small relative to their competitors GM and Ford. So in summary, both car companies are too small to survive on their own. The question is where to go next. Looking at how could they gain competitive advantage. Competitive advantage could be gained due to scale and scope, customer networks and markets, product services, business system and the value chain, assets and resources, and the competitor interaction. Larger scale will lead to lower costs. Larger dealer network will provide them access to more potential customers. Increasing your product range and services is going to enhance your competitive position by providing many solutions to the different and reaching out different market segments. Could the business system and the value chain benefit from integration and merger, as well as will there be a better asset management and resource allocation? And finally, if we look at the industry, how are competitors reacting? The question that we have to ask ourselves next is that what kind of fit, what kind of benefits will they achieve from this merger? And here, let's go back to our 3 nightmares of the CEO. Where would you go next? And put yourself in the shoes of each or either CEO. Daimler, Mercedes-Benz, and Chrysler. You need to do something. Where to go? Looking at the industry, you cannot survive by yourself. Looking at your own internal problems, you need to grow in order to survive and to recover from your problems. So, something needs to be done. Okay? So, the first nightmare is answered by something needs to be done. Mercedes has a product differentiation advantage when it comes to the luxury market and the high-end luxury market. But they lack the cost efficiency. Chrysler has the advantage in manufacturing, in creating new lifestyle products, creating new innovative products, as well as the ability to have good manufacturing and efficient manufacturing. Can we see that the merger will provide companies with backstage and onstage advantages? Are the products competing with each other? What will drive you to go with the merger? Are there the prerequisites for success? Obviously, there is potential for success. So, where to go next? Let us merge. Are the companies similar or different? And the merger created a company with two CEOs, two different leaders, two different leadership style, two different cultures, the American culture and the German culture. So we decided to merge. The troops are marching, but under two leaders. Yes, we want to grow, but I'm seeing my growth this way, you're seeing your growth that other way. Now for those troops, which way will they follow? And the challenge is, how could we make the groups, or how could we make the troops follow the leader? The second nightmare. So looking at their business environment, we can start analyzing the differences between Mercedes and Chrysler. The American versus the German business environment. The laws governing them, their labor, how do they treat their labor? The lifestyle of their labor, how do they compensate them? American compensation versus German compensation. Financial reporting, because this company has to report to both German standards as well as American standards. And most importantly, what is the organization culture? Would you buy a $100,000 S-Class Mercedes from a dealer or from a manager who stays in a discounted motel? If you are traveling and you see this $100,000+ Mercedes car parked in front of a cheap motel, how would you feel about that brand image? Of course, creating this premium brand image means that you have to be seen in a certain area among a certain crowd of people and with a certain prestige. Totally different than a low-end brand image. Keep this in mind when you play your simulation game. If you decide to go to the premium market, which is not a small market, it's a large market. The question that you have to ask yourself, how would you play this game? How would you act in this premium market? We all know, as time went by, that this merger was not a successful merger. But this case really helps us to understand what goes on behind making a decision to merge, looking at the drive to grow, looking at what kind of fits they are trying to achieve through this growth. However, they did not do a detailed analysis about the problems that may arise because of the different cultures, different lifestyles. Would you pay $100,000 for a Mercedes when you know that it's produced the same way, or produced on the same line, or produced or shares part with a $30,000 Chrysler? Now, a good example to look at, to consider when you want to look at this failed merger, is to look at Toyota and Lexus. How they are achieving the backstage and the onstage advantages. Backstage, they share the same assembly line. There is a unifying company culture, but They are differentiating when it comes to the front end, to the customer. There is clear differentiation between Toyota and Lexus, as well as between Mercedes and Chrysler. But one grew up organically, not trying to merge two different companies together. The other one resulted from a merger and the inability to create one leadership that unites and brings everybody together. Hope you enjoyed this case and looking forward to seeing you in other cases. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.